Call the meeting to order at 6:33. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which is against one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Okay. Let's start with the A&R for 114 South Road.
So just to update the board, I did not, they're changing lot lines. Their neighbor is allowing them to increase the size of their yard. So it's not a regular A&R, but Christine and Alex can give you the rest of the story.
Sure.
So basically, over the last few years, we've been trying to work our way into the backfield because of the properties are like super awkward. He owned more of our backyard spacing than he owned behind his house, so he allowed us to acquire it from him. And really, it just gives us much more backyard as opposed to just 40 feet behind our house. And now we actually have a standard backyard that would fit the neighborhood.
Hello, everybody. I saw I'm stepping in here.
Hey, Kirk.
Hello, I'm listening. Go ahead. Sorry, Charlie.
Okay. So they're still, they're both, that's RA1 up there, or is that RA2? But they're it's two. But they're both still, they're already existing non-conforming lots currently, correct?
They're already existing.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, just moving that from there.
What's going on, Charlie? Can you explain to me a little bit?
Yeah, so there's just the two lots, they're moving back land from one lot onto the other lot
Where is this?
on South Road, 114, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So are they making, they're not making the giving lot less conforming, are they?
No,
No.
As long as they're making the lot that's non-conforming a little less non-conforming, then it's encouraged.
Exactly, and it's just the back lot, so there's nothing really changing. It's cleaning up the lot itself, so I think it should be fine. Any questions from the board?
You're just adding a small dimension in the back, is that?
So his shed is in the jog, like right behind our property now. So that's why he wanted to maintain his shed line. So our home is here, his
Right.
shed is right here in the corner, so that's why instead of coming straight back into the point, we jogged in behind our house. And then down to the point.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board?
None.
Any questions from the audience? This time I'd entertain a motion to approve the plans as submitted.
Second.
I need first those.
So moved. So
I get a
moved.
first and a second, perfect. Any discussion on the motion? Okay,
No.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Kirk?
I'm gonna abstain because I'm just not looking at the plans, but as long
Nope,
as you
that's
have
fine. Yeah,
form, you're good.
perfect, thank you.
John's yes.
John's yes, perfect, okay. So that's approved. Yep, you got it.
so. We'll get the signatures. And you'll have what you need to file after the registration. That's like Mylar.
Yes, we're gonna sign these.
If you sign a Mylar and one plan,
Just something, one.
it goes to them right now.
Okay. That down here with you guys, so sorry.
bottom left.
We'll finish this up and then we'll move on to the next one.
Where are we signing here?
On left. Left.
Oh, okay. Glasses and all. The date today is. I'm trying to off the board now anyway.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Exactly. That's what I figured. We'll get you. Exactly.
Between.
Yeah. I just figured we'll get this all signed and then we.
We referred to.
I was looking to see if Lori had sent you a plot plan for South Road. You filed.
Yeah, just paperwork. That's fine.
Yeah, but she didn't send you the plot plan. Usually she does. South Road. Peter Farber.
Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, okay.
That the land is conveyed to Christine Royer.
Yep.
Mazutsky.
Yep.
But it doesn't show. Like you said, you're not looking at the plot plan. I figured there would be a plot plan attached to this, but there isn't.
It's definitely a big plan they're signing right now. It's full size plan.
If you need it,
Yeah.
I mean, it gives you beginning and ending points, but you know, it's better to look easier to look at the freaking picture.
Oops.
And then Dicky says that they can have a drive-through
You got the plot, please.
spot place.
Yep.
So the drive-through's gonna come in from Harper Street and come out.
Yep.
On South Main.
Yeah. Enter only on one.
Right.
So.
Thank you. For you. If you
Have a good
need
night.
to, make information on what you need to do. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because that's just for its office. Okay, so moving along.
Okay,
So I'm assuming you're gonna step off the board, Frank?
I'm off the board.
Sounds good.
Want me to leave over there? Or
Probably just
go
over there.
home?
Oh, we might want you again, so you can just go sit in the audience for now.
Can we get home?
Not yet. If I can't go home, you can't go home.
Guys.
Right, doesn't it? Scary. Okay. Frank, you want to let us know what you're looking at?
Yeah, I'm just giving away a piece of land on Route 2. So this is R2.
Mhm.
We got more than enough frontage, more than enough everything. A lot of land.
Okay. 4.3, so you have plenty of frontage. That's just a water easement.
No water.
Give you a checklist.
I'm just gonna say, do I have a checklist?
Would you like one?
If you have one.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Awesome, thank you. Well, we're waiting for the checklist. Anybody on the board have any questions? Any audience have any questions? making our job too easy tonight. Come on. Exciting planning board. Come on, it doesn't get much better than this, right?
It was in 1928. Is that when it was built? Yeah, because it was a rail. Yeah,
Seems like it was just yesterday.
Hmm?
Seems like it was just yesterday. 1700s, right?
10 years before my time.
Okay. 4 copies of plan. We have this. All right, making you work again.
That's okay, no.
Identification of plan by name of owner of record. Should we have that? Statement of approval under subdivision. That is on there. Zoning classification. RA2. The case of creation of new lot, remaining land area frontage of the land in the ownership of the applicant, if any. Yes. Notice of any decisions by ZBA. Name of abutters. Should we have
Yes. Well,
distance to nearest permanent monument? Plenty on there. Location of all existing buildings. Which on this, there are no buildings on there, correct? Okay. Location of any easement or way, which we have that, the
Yeah,
water.
Just that water line easement.
Okay.
That's for my other boys. Bruce.
Yeah,
Behind it.
okay. Okay. 4 copies of Form A,
Yes,
4 copies of A&R notice. Description of lots.
yes,
Do we charge him double or just?
triple.
Okay, sounds good. So we get the fee collected. All lots abut qualified way. They do. All lots have adequate frontage.
they do.
Vital access exists to each lot. All lots have adequate acreage.
Yes.
Perfect. At this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the plans as submitted. Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Excellent, thank you. Any discussion of the motion on the floor? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. John
Yes.
and Kirk, I'm assuming you're abstaining?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Yep, just wanted to make sure it was on the record.
Thanks,
Excellent.
John.
Motion. Yep, so the plans are approved.
You guys are so much.
Right, we tried. See if I can get us afterwards, all right. That plan, which plan is that?
Right on sign.
Another copy of that? Yeah, okay. I'll put it one right here too. Excellent, thank you. All right. Whatever reason. It was setting my location.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be part of.
This-
Yeah. Actually, it's a second.
I don't know what's going down. Excuse me. Thank you.
This one is completely, so I'm gonna give these to Bruce. There you go.
Thank you.
You too.
Okay. Moving right along. Hearing continuance of 1 North Main Street. Refresh my memory, do you have to reopen or are we good? I think so, right?
It was never.
Did you take a
closed.
vote to reopen, Charlie?
It was never,
Right? It's still going. It's gonna be a different chair.
it's having a little chair issue. Get it fixed as we speak.
Charlie,
Yes,
you need to take a vote to reopen the hearing.
at this time, entertain a motion to open the public hearing again.
Shouldn't open.
Second. Seconded. Thank you. Any discussion? All in-
Aye.
Right?
Frank, Kirk.
Yeah,
John,
yeah.
awesome, thank you,
Yes.
thank you. Okay, public hearing is reopened. Okay, where are we?
You know, one of the sheets that you gave me,
For which one?
the traffic and everything?
No, I'm good. It was just, basically, it was just updating the
Because we,
plan.
we talked about the, you had changed the pattern, right?
Yep, yeah, we changed the pattern. I pointed out for you. But, you guys want me to close off the entrance right here. So we closed this off. And then we made this, entrance only. And then we kind of pointed to our signs. We had missed the signs before. And I think that was kind of the major things that everybody wanted.
For the board, I had a conversation with the zoning enforcement officer last evening. He stated that he did not see an issue with the drive-through windows, that the zoning actually refers to food.
Okay.
So he believes that the product doesn't qualify as food. And that he didn't have an issue.
Let me bring that closer. You guys got copies, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, they do.
Any questions from the board? No. John, Kirk, any questions?
Nope, as long as that's how the building inspector reads it, I'm okay.
Yeah, I think this new traffic is gonna work a lot better. I think it's a smoother,
Yeah, it looks better.
it does. Did you gain extra parking spaces doing that, or is it, looks like there's more,
I don't know. To tell
Okay.
you the truth, I mean, I think we have more parking than we need, but
well, that's right, it just looks like there were more on there, so,
yeah, might as well have them there, you know?
exactly. Can always be snow storage if you need to.
Charlie,
Yes,
question for you. Is there any, proposed signs within the parking lot? Everybody has to stare at the pavement to look at arrows and lines and whatnot, just
on
the
the,
directions or what.
Yeah,
I
they're
gotcha.
painted.
painted on the
Yeah.
ground, right?
Okay, and you got, signs on the 101 side stating, do not enter, wrong way or whatever, so people don't attempt to leave that way.
Yeah, there's a no exit sign.
Okay, on both sides of the drive.
It's basically just on
encourage,
the main drive.
I'd put one on each side of that driveway that you don't want them leaving. You know,
Yeah.
no different than no different than a ramp on the highway, you know what I mean? They have wrong way posted on both sides of the ramp, because they want somebody to really pay attention to it. But,
Yeah, no, that
just
we can do that. That makes sense.
Okay. Of course it does. Yeah, that's fine. The rest is just gonna be, directive arrows and lines, whatnot, and the, on the pavement.
Yeah.
Charlie, we'll just make one note for the board to, as we always do, we exercise the right, one of the conditions would be that we exercise the right to, revisit, traffic pattern, traffic flow, what have you, to, to adjust for, public safety, what have you,
Exactly.
in case we miss something or people just continuously go against the grain, at least we can revisit it. I'm sure the applicant's in agreement to that, as long as we just, if it's for everybody's good, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I'd like to see that condition put in there.
Sure. Sure. Do we have a list of anything going now, or we're pretty much, because we've addressed everything at this point, correct?
You have addressed everything, but revisit the traffic. I will put in as a condition when I write it out.
Okay.
And I'll have the standards in there.
If you're gonna have a drive-up window, are there any need for protection of bollards or anything of that nature around it, or?
I would say that's probably building inspector territory. I don't know if that's something that we.
What was the question again?
Dennis was asking if there's
If there's
anything.
gonna be a drive-up window, do we need any type of protection for that area, like bollards or anything else of that nature? Just to make it safe for
Yeah,
the.
Yeah, I know you're saying. Is there any chance of somebody actually, I mean,
Because I think that side of the building, because the drive-through is
running parallel with the drive-through, right?
right. What
Um,
is this actually gonna be like?
I know we,
an
but we had
or is
some,
this just a?
Yeah, it's just gonna be painted. for
Okay.
now.
Okay.
But I think what he's maybe saying is put a bulb there,
Right,
maybe,
but
so
then
you
what
don't
is-
take out the person in the.
Right.
I would-
Is it, is the window extended out?
Yeah, it's gonna be extended out, but I see you saying someone could come through with a plow and maybe take them out.
yeah, so, I mean,
Yeah.
for your own good, it might be a bad idea to put them there just for that reason,
Yep.
Because if you lose your drive window, you're gonna, it's gonna be shut till you get it fixed,
Yeah, no, I hear that. Can't have that. Yeah,
Okay.
that works.
Okay.
Not against that.
That's a good point, Dennis, thank you.
Any other questions from the board?
I have none.
How many cars can the drive-through accommodate before it queues up?
It looked like when we did it, it was like 5 or 6,
Yeah.
so
Is that in your
that'd be a lot of
expectations?
people. So I mean, I've gone over to the sanctuary and just kind of like sat there for like a half a day and looked at what happens, and they're busy Fridays. They're definitely busy.
Yeah.
Like Fridays like
Yeah.
that. They have sales, so they try to get people in over the weekends.
Right. And that's one of those things like with the conditions, if there becomes an issue, like, if they're backing up halfway down the road, that's something we could address at that point. If it
Right.
ends up being a.
Well, they'll have to go in and park, that's all. I mean, not many people want to wait in the drive-through too long either, So they'll just go inside.
Yep. Yep.
Charlie, I'm not, of course, looking at the plan, but do you see does the flow of traffic to loop around and still have people be able to park?
I do. I think it works
I know
really. I think the upgrade. Yeah, I think the updated plan will be a much smoother.
Because though I had mentioned something about do away with the diagonal parking and park it in straight, because that way it can come from either direction.
Yeah,
You did
Is
that.
that care of?
it is. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think the updated plan looks like it should work pretty smoothly. So.
All right.
Any questions from anybody in the audience?
Did you bring any samples?
Not
Kidding,
yet.
kidding.
I'm still waiting for the chocolate for Valentine's Day. Oh, no, actually, Laura did bring it, didn't you? Did.
Yeah.
Well, you forgot me. Okay,
Yeah, if you guys, if you think you've seen enough and have hashed it out enough, you can, entertain a motion to close the public hearing, and you guys have 21 days to, do your conditions and so on and so forth. You can discuss it at the next meeting, But as long as there's no new information coming in, you can entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
anybody see any issue with closing public hearing? I'm good. So this time I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to
So
close.
moved.
Second.
That's good, you got.
John and Scott.
Okay, perfect, excellent. Any discussion on closing the public hearing?
No.
Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
John? And Kurt?
Yeah, I said, yep, no problem.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
perfect. We got that one, thank you.
All right.
Okay, so public hearing is closed. So are we just gonna wait for to drop the conditions? Kirk, is that what you're saying? Okay,
Yeah, we can, based on the few things that were, mentioned as far as revisiting it, the bollards, what have you, the signs, just list them into conditions. I mean, always seems like an active participant, but if it's not in writing,
pretty small
Yeah,
list, so
again.
there's nothing really too.
so
pretty-
basically
pretty
just
simple
spell out.
stuff. Okay.
Yep, the drive-through window. Did you list, I know we're already past it, but we did list hours of operation, right? Was it mentioned as far as
We discussed hours previous, we did.
that was discussed? Okay, so that would be part of the conditions as well,
Yeah.
And then, okay. So other than that, no new information coming in. You just render your conditions based upon the information we already have.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So I think we're in pretty good shape, so should we all set?
At some point I
Yeah.
come back or.
So yeah, so what we'll do is, Lori, bumping up to the next meeting? Okay, sure, perfect. So yeah, so next meeting, we'll have it ready to go and then we'll vote on it and should be all set. Cool. Excellent.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll just text you.
All right, thank you.
Awesome.
So, next, before you go to the minutes,
Thank you.
Mr. Ragan.
was supposed to be on the agenda.
Okay.
And I let him off. And I think where he was specifically told to come back on the 28th,
Yeah, I think we,
at least hear his engineer.
sure.
Does Kirk have any problem with that?
I couldn't hear what you were saying. Shall you repeat that?
So Mr. Radigan is not currently on the agenda, but he is here with his engineer. And so we were just discussing if we can just kind of let him,
Because we told him to come back.
we had
on
told him
the
to come back today
28th. But
and it just is not actually on the agenda.
Are we there? Is it a new, is this for Glenn's expansion? This will be like a new project?
it's the continuance,
Oh, it's a continuance.
right? You asked him to come back as part of, on the 28th. And
Okay.
I marked the agenda.
All right, so you forgot to, you asked him to come back today, but it did not make it to the agenda?
Correct.
Right.
Did you guys have any neighbors or abutters or anybody that came upon the opening of the hearing?
No.
The only problem I see, just me, is that anybody that's relying on, they can go online and look at the planning board's agenda. If they had anything to say for or against Glenn's project, they can cry a foul that it wasn't on the agenda. So therefore, they had no other way, because they only get notified the first time as an abutter. After that, it's up to them to follow the agendas. Well, that's what it's online for.
Right?
So,
Any
I
chance you-
what's that?
since his engineer is here, is there any chance you can hear him or ask whatever questions you may have? And I can put it on the next agenda for the final vote?
Who's Glenn's engineer?
Chris Mossman is the engineer.
Okay, Chris has been ongoing since day one. Yeah, no, I'm fine with Chris, and I don't really have any questions for him because I'm not looking at a plan either, but he pretty much knows what the board wants, and and so on and so forth. Is conservation already signed off on it, Glenn
Yes.
or Chris? Okay. Like I said, my only concern would be that somebody would have a valiant point to appeal. And I'm just saying, being devil's advocate here, because they weren't properly notified. If they just went online and looked, it wasn't on the agenda. That's all I'm saying with that. Because it's not up to you to notify everybody again, but if somebody's following it and they wanted to come, they weren't.
Right.
There was no publication of notification. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying with that. Really, the board or the applicant. I don't know if you can. I don't know if we're supposed to carry on at will. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact that it wasn't properly advertised. I mean, the continuation as far as it being posted.
On the agenda.
I'm just putting it out there in case on backfires. You know what I mean?
And I feel like we're not voting on anything tonight. We're just, collecting some information. I think.
I think we collected enough information because the last meeting stated, for the record, come back to 28th with the information we needed.
Right.
That's what I was told.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
The information you need.
Yep.
So you
Yeah.
think you can take a vote tonight?
Well, I would definitely not close the public hearing tonight, Charlie, just because of the reason I spoke of. So if you guys want to continue on with the public hearing, go ahead, but I wouldn't, for lack of somebody crying foul, I would just wait till the next meeting to close it. If you guys feel you want to take the rest of the information in, because otherwise, Glenn, if Glenn can hear me, otherwise you have to start all over for a new publication. If you break the chain of command, so to speak. And so I think you're asking for ground to appeal.
Right, but I
I
think
wouldn't close the public hearing. I wouldn't close the public hearing.
I do see
I would
that.
wait
I
till the
think
next
that might be right. I think getting all the information tonight and doing whatever, but I feel like where it's not on the agenda to close the public hearing might be a little, just because it could open up to somebody being able to appeal and have, saying that they weren't notified on that.
So you're gonna hold me up 30 more days?
It's my fault, Glenn.
30 more days on my schedule I gotta hold up?
No, 2 weeks.
Hey, Glenn,
Keep going.
What?
Glenn, I know what you're saying, but just so you know, we have 90 days to render a decision, so show the board a little bit more respect, okay? It was a simple mistake.
We'll get this done as quickly as we can. So let's get the information tonight. And then, in 2 weeks, we'll get everything
Okay.
up and finalized for you.
This would also avoid any.
Right. And then there's
coming
no,
in, which would further delay you. So,
exactly. So we'll get it done.
Okay.
So I would say, Charlie, carry on. I mean, you might as
Yep,
well carry
we're
on.
gonna get the info right now.
These are smaller scale ones for the guys on the side of the share.
Save paper.
Save a tree or two, right, Dennis? Oh, sure. Appreciate that. Thank you.
So, what I've got there is 3 sheets. Maybe I'd have you look at the second one first, because it's kind of an overview of everything. It kind of shows a little bit of the noise, but it shows space, what it is. And then
Okay.
kind of start with that a little bit. On the right-hand side of the plan, it looks Village Road. Glenn's house, you can see the access road coming in.
Mhm.
You can see where phase 1 is, phase 2, and phase 3 is kind of shown with, that's where the grading is, the detention point, all that. And then if I had you, and if you have any questions about that, you can see, like, there's a big hole on the, over here on, this side over here where there was another pit, you can see steep slopes going down that
Mhm.
side. There was I guess the flexion ran a few years ago too. So we're right up against that on one side. And then we have a big drop on the other side going down to a weapons area. And on the, I guess it'd be the west side, we have a big pond, beaver pond. Which is all this area right over here. And then there's a stream that runs out of that. Glenn had put in a culvert many years ago to get over to do some work over there.
Yep.
So if you guys have any questions about the overview? So we flip back to the first page, and that kind of shows a little more detail of. So this is about, I think it's about 2.5 acres that we're gonna open up now, about 40,000 cubic yards. That's gonna be removed. I have, 3 monitoring wells that I put in at low spots. This is a low spot, right here where the monitoring well is, another one here, and then another one over here where the detention pond is. So these were holes that we dug so we could see the quality of the material. I put a pipe in the ground there, and I've been monitoring it since we put them in. And they have remained dry. I have, so that kind of confirms what the observations I made of the sidewalls, in the test hole. And so I actually, before we came tonight, I drove over there, went through all 3 of them again, and I have like an inch of water in this one.
Okay.
But obviously we get a lot of snow melt, so I think this was a good opportunity to run out there today and see where we were. So you guys have a requirement that I stay 6 feet above the water table. That's what it's designed for. Around the whole thing, I'm using 3-to-1 slopes. So they're, 3 feet out, 1 foot down. And everything's sort of graded so that we have flow coming from phase 2. It's heading in this direction. Flow from this back end flowing in that direction. All headed towards that detention pond. It's right there. So we'll get some riprap around that. There's little 4 bays on either side. Once it's finally constructed, so that it catches some of the grit, flows over the 4 bay, goes into the detention pond, and then there's a small swale that runs out towards the wetlands. Because of the way the watersheds, and if you guys have a copy of the drainage, I don't want to bore you with all that stuff. But basically, where that is all running out with a very small watershed to begin with. And since I have to balance the flow, so I can only send in post-construction a very small amount of water in there, it's basically not going to get used in the 2 of the 10-year storm. It's going to be contained on site. And then in the 100-year storm, I get 2 CFS going out. It's like nothing. So that's how that kind of works. We're going to use the existing, gravel road to get in from either side. Jim Proplaski is the pit operator. I think we're going to give him some flexibility about how he's going to approach this thing. Presently, there's a nice big face right here that he has been working up to. And so I'm assuming that he's probably going to work that way. But he's also made some noise about, we have a nice little face in here. This is again a low area, and he may want to work over in there too. But I guess the idea would try to get some trees cut shortly, and then try and start to work on it. Now, I think, like I said, it's about 2.5 acres, and he has, I want to say maybe 2 acres that are kind of open. He sort of took some other material because I wasn't getting the plan done fast enough. And so I showed him that he could work closer to a property line back in phase 2. So he's working that a little bit, but most of the stuff looked like stockpiles rather than more stuff to move.
Okay.
So, I kind of told him that you probably ought to start just finishing up, he needs room to work on in phase 2 to be able to work on phase 3 next.
Right.
But I think that's what the idea is. When I went there today, I could see a lot of piles of loom tailings there that I think he's going to be spreading, so to kind of flatten that out, so then he can get over to phase 3. Okay, guess that's what I've got. Unless you guys have some questions.
Any of the conservations,
Yep, they had some comments, and we went through with the commission, and I think they're all set. They've ordered, issued an order, and I believe it's that recorded or.
Yeah, it's already sent. Yep.
Okay.
Registered, he's got it.
Have you had your construction visit?
Not yet, no.
No, we gotta get through this.
Yeah, we're gonna flag everything and then put in the necessary, so whatever needs to be done.
any questions, comments from the board?
I wasn't in attendance prior, but what's it going to be?
Gravel.
Just gravel?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, gravel pit.
Yeah, no buildings, no development, no.
So we require it go in phases because you can only open up so much at a time.
Yeah.
So that's why it breaks it into phases. Okay. So. Anybody else have any questions? So everything looks like it should be fine. I don't see any hiccups. So like I said, we won't close the public hearing tonight, but in 2 weeks we'll have it. We'll make sure you're on the agenda, everything's taken care of, and we'll expedite that through. Yep. So, okay. So I think everything looks like it's in pretty good shape though.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Sorry about the confusion.
You want to keep the paper copies, or I can leave the little ones for you if you want.
Do we need anything? Little ones, maybe?
We have the plans in the packets, but if we keep the little ones, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, because as long as it's the, exactly. Exactly. More convenient.
Just let you guys know. Okay.
Call me
Thank
and
you.
I'll let George know.
All right.
Maybe I'll go down with him.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
you're very welcome.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you, board.
And again, sorry.
Chris. I'm glad I checked. That you're showing up here.
Yeah. Actually, I would have called you.
I don't know, even Tommy Roy is retiring before me, that's crazy.
Really. I'm never gonna be able to keep working like you.
Surprised about that.
Thanks again.
Thanks. Have a great night. Okay, has everyone had a chance to review the minutes? Yes. Excellent. At this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I get a second. Excellent. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Neil's still online.
I'll say, well, I'm assuming, so Kirk and Frank, excuse me, keep saying,
John is gone.
John's gone, okay. Kirk is, I'm assuming.
I'm still here. I'm staying for the
He
minute.
was absent. Sounds good. Excellent. So minutes have been approved. So next meeting
Good.
is.
No.
What's up, Kirk?
Anything else on the agenda right now?
Nope. That's it. Next meeting, 4/11/23. Any new business, anything from the board? Nope. This time I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
Excellent. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.